Welcome to Weekly News. I'm Marcela Tomčíková and we bring you a quick roundup of the key stories, updates and moments worth knowing this week. Let's dive in. Prague will launch a new express bus line that will connect Davice, Kobylisy, Bohnice and Chimice via the Blanka tunnel complex. The so-called tunnel bus is intended to significantly speed up travel between Prague 6 and Prague 8 and offer an alternative to the congested metro. Before launching it, it was necessary to resolve the safety of traffic in the tunnels and traffic preferences on the route.
Prague will get a new express bus line connecting Prague 6 and Prague 8 through the Blanka tunnel complex. This so-called tunnel bus is expected to launch by mid-August, providing a much faster connection between Davice, Kobylisy, Bohnice and Chimice.
The new route will depart from Vítězné náměstí, pass by the Hradčanská metro station, and head through the tunnel to Holešovičky, where it will stop at Vyšovatelna. Then it will pass by the Kobylisy metro station and continue through Bohnice to the Chimice housing estate.
Our current plan is to launch the service between the Chimice and Vítězné náměstí terminals, or Kulečák, as some call it, by mid-August. It is bus line 145, which should provide a record-fast connection between the Kobylisy and Davice metro stations. And why is this interesting? Well, it will be a direct connection without the need to transfer. While you can currently travel by taking Metro Line C and then transferring to Line A to reach Davice, this direct bus line will certainly be much more attractive during off-peak hours, when the transfer intervals and wait times are longer than they are today.
According to the organizers, it was necessary to resolve various safety conditions and staffing requirements before the line could be launched.
This was preceded by long negotiations with both the police and individual authorities to make it possible to authorize such intensive traffic within the tunnel complex, which does have some specific requirements. We needed to fine-tune the safety protocols so that if a bus were forced to stop in the tunnel, the evacuation of passengers would be seamless. And we were also waiting for there to be enough drivers. A shortage of drivers had prevented this for a long time, and this line will require approximately 15 drivers every single day.
We have implemented a whole series of preparatory measures, including allowing public transport buses to drive through the center of the large roundabout at Kulečák, which has already improved the reliability of bus transport in the Vítězné náměstí area in advance. And in connection with that, our colleagues from TSK are preparing a whole range of additional preference measures for the final launch and fine-tuning of the system, both at the tunnel entrances and in the Libeň and Kobylisy sections, to ensure that the tunnel buses can pass through as smoothly as possible.
The journey between Kobylisy and Davice should now take about 20 minutes without a transfer.
If there is one topic that is becoming increasingly pressing around the world, it's waste. Waste management is set to undergo major changes in the coming years. Municipalities will have to deal not only with higher demands on sorting, but also with the end of landfilling after 2030. This is exactly what the mayors discussed at the Central Bohemian Region seminar in Poděbrady.
What happens to waste after the landfill ban starts in the Czech Republic in 2030? How municipalities will handle new duties and if people will pay more for waste, that was also debated by mayors at the seminar How to Proceed with Waste, organized for towns by the Central Bohemian Region at the House of Children and Youth in Poděbrady.
Today, municipalities can learn here, for example, how to cooperate and how to prevent the creation of waste, or how to manage leftover waste.
We are trying to help municipalities prepare for the end of landfilling, even though it seems like a long time away. On the other hand, the preparation for it is relatively short, and municipalities should take quite a lot of measures. Municipal solid waste will no longer be able to be taken to landfills, but will be taken to waste incineration facilities.
One of the goals of the seminar was to show municipalities simple ways to reduce the amount of waste. According to the organizers, social media groups where people offer things for free or for pickup can also help.
A lady always takes a picture of something she wants to get rid of, which might otherwise end up in a landfill. They offer it for pickup. Someone else responds that they are interested, comes to get it, and that simply prevents waste.
For small towns, meeting new sorting targets is also essential. Starting this year, the law requires them to sort at least 60% of municipal waste. Some mayors, however, point out that the system is calculated by weight and lighter waste is reflected significantly less in the results.
60% cannot be sorted. Municipal waste is heavier. If I put municipal waste in the bin, it is heavy, right? When I put in, I do not know ash, which most of the village heats with solid fuels, that means they actually put in ash, which is heavy. A plastic bottle is light. Everything is calculated in tons.
After 2030, landfilling is supposed to end. Mayors are therefore solving how the new system will work, where the waste will be taken, and what role the municipalities themselves will have in it.
By ending landfilling and preparing a new concept of waste management, cooperation is offered. So we will not be able to play each on our own sandbox, but we must work together.
The Central Bohemian region wants to help municipalities with concrete materials. There are 24 information leaflets available. Individual towns can then adjust them to their own conditions and use them when communicating with.
For example, we have a leaflet about bulky waste, where at the beginning it is what bulky waste is, and then each municipality can write into that leaflet how they exactly handle that bulky waste. Where, for example, in the municipality the collection yard is located, and where it can be taken.
Residents. Towns will be solving not only sorting in the coming years, but also waste prevention, bio-waste, cooperation with neighboring towns, and a new system after the end of landfilling. Similar meetings are supposed to help them mainly so that they are not alone in the changes.
Construction of a new central emergency room is beginning at the Kolín Hospital. The project, worth more than £1 billion, is intended to speed up patient care and simplify the work of healthcare professionals. It should be completed in 2 years.
In Kolín Hospital, officials from the region and the hospital symbolically tapped the cornerstone for the new emergency intake. The new facility is set to provide modern support for emergency medicine and is planned to treat 35,000 to 40,000 patients each year.
Currently, the central emergency intake at Kolín Hospital is not yet available, making it the only central Bohemian hospital managed by the region without this facility. I'm glad construction is starting. This investment is huge, over 1,250 million crowns. We are partially covering this from the Central Bohemian region's budget and the European Investment Bank, plus EIROB grants. And it is actually, I would say, right now, the two largest investments are the Pavilion for Mother and Child in Mlada Boleslav and the Central Emergency Intake here in Kolín.
The new emergency department will unify acute care in one place. Patients will not have to find the right department, and medical staff can decide on treatment priorities faster.
Right now, patients are walking around looking for the department that fits their diagnosis for treatment. The benefit for the patient is clear. They will be treated in one place and according to the severity of their illness. This indicates that those who come and need care that is genuinely urgent and necessary within a matter of minutes will get it. And those who arrive with conditions that can be postponed will, of course, have to wait.
If the building goes as planned, the new urgent care facility should be ready in 2 years. The county expects the project to be completed without major problems or extra expenses.
There are no change orders that would bring more work, and we do not wish for the construction to be prolonged. We want it to finish on time. We want it to, of course, finish on schedule.
The new emergency department is expected to significantly improve access to acute health care for patients from Kolín and the surrounding areas once completed.
Now we take a close look at transportation again. Preparations are beginning for the demolition of 2 bridges on the Prague Ring Road between the D1 and D5 motorways. They must make way for the planned expansion of the road to 6 lanes. To maintain traffic in both directions, the work itself will take place mainly at night. The new bridges are to be completed within a few months.
Preparations for the demolition of 2 bridges that no longer meet future road requirements are beginning on the Prague Ring Road between the D1 and D5 motorways. Work will take place mostly at night.
Demolishing bridges over the Prague Ring Road, especially between the D1 and D5, is something that must be done at night, because otherwise, we would cause a total traffic collapse. This means that at this moment we are already preparing those bridges for demolition, which I expect will take place within a month, and we will provide notice in advance. Right now, utility networks are being relocated and traffic signs and restrictions are being prepared. In fact, the dismantling of all the redundant infrastructure from those bridges will follow, such as the railings, some of which are already, let's say, movable, but they need to be removed.
The demolition is for the planned 6-lane expansion of the Prague Ring Road.
The wider Prague Ring Road that we will be building from next year, or rather, we are already beginning the expansion of the Prague Ring Road at this moment, will not fit under these bridges. Because the original overpasses, the bridges over the D0 motorway, are not wide enough in terms of their foundations to allow a 6-lane motorway to fit underneath them.
I look forward to the 3+3 expansion, because when this ring was rebuilt around 2009 to 2010, I wondered why they didn't expand the 2+2 layout to 3+3 then. Attentive listeners and viewers will know that this section dates back to roughly the 80s of the 20th century. And connecting the D5 to the D1 really called for it. However, as I later learned from my colleagues, it would have required more detailed changes to the land use plan, which were not ready back then. It was done with limited parameters, and now the Road and Motorway Directorate is paying that debt.
New bridges will be built quickly, with a lifespan of about 100 years.
We want to have the new bridges finished very, very quickly because this is a very busy place. Even so, there will of course still be 2 lanes for each direction on the Prague Ring Road through the construction site. This means that, just as before, any restriction or reduction in the capacity of that road is completely out of the question. That was the first condition we included in the tender process. The simpler bridge, which will still, of course, carry a cycle path very comfortably and safely in addition to the vehicles. We'll build that in 150 days, including demolition. The second is complex. Effectively, 2 bridges side by side. One will be for full traffic, and one will be for pedestrians, cycling, and connecting the bio-corridor from both sides. We will build that one in a maximum of 210 days according to the contract. This means it will be finished later this year, or at the beginning of next year.
The expansion of the Prague Ring Road is one of the most significant transport projects in the metropolis, and according to road workers, it should significantly help the flow of traffic around Prague in the future.
Are you interested in the history of old houses, and not only from old photographs? Then try to focus on a new exhibition at the National Technical Museum, which shows interesting approach from archived documents. But not only that, visitors can also experience for themselves what such work as an archivist looks like.
Tragedies, novels, and great human destinies, stories like those in movies might have happened right around you. You just don't know about them. Some old houses could tell more than their former inhabitants, but cracked walls won't reveal their testimonies to just anyone. And a new exhibition at the National Technical Museum shows where and how to look for these forgotten traces of the past.
Essentially, it is a guide on how to find information about various types of archival materials. We selected 29 archival items. We could say we are tracing a line from the cradle to the grave, meaning these are buildings that accompany a person throughout their life, meaning someone is born, lives, works, has fun, and goes to school somewhere.
Adina Mandlova's birthhouse, a pharmacy, or a factory in Modrany. The exhibition presents nearly 30 buildings from the central Bohemian region and shows everything that can be learned about their past.
We have information here not only about the construction plans of these houses, but also the stories of the people who were in them. We have Adina Mandlova's birthhouse here.
To be found. Visitors can also try the work of archivists themselves and view historical documents for a total of...
The most important thing is, of course, where the property is located, which means it is always best to find the nearest district archive, which is the first step, where to go and look for archival materials there. And then, of course, it is possible to search further.
The exhibition includes an interactive research room. People can open archive boxes in it, browse through old documents, or find out how archival materials were digitized in the past.
Visitors not only read the panels, but they can become researchers themselves. We have 2 older reading devices from the 80s of the 20th century here. Century, where people can see how archival materials were digitized at that time.
According to the authors, the exhibition is atypical mainly because people can touch most of the items and try the work of researchers themselves. It also wants to show that searching for the history of houses does not have to be just the work of experts in archives.
It was our intention to show this style of research because the National Technical Museum is a museum, but at the same time, we also have an archive of architecture and construction here.
The exhibition titled Stories of My House will run at the National Technical Museum in Prague until September. During it, visitors can discover that even an ordinary house on the corner of the street can hide a surprising past.
Charity program, different kinds of dogs and lots of fun. That was the 10th anniversary of Dog Day, which took place in the central Prague of Prague 13. Visitors could be inspired by expert lectures on animal care and health or by the charity program to support shelters. Training demonstrations were also very popular.
The 10th annual Dog Day took place in the Central Park of Prague 13. The event offered competitions and expert programs on dog care.
The program is truly rich. We start with a dog race, then a charity raffle for shelters twice during the day. We have high jumps, a roll puzzle, and sniffing contests. Because it is hot, we have also brought a pool where dogs can cool off. And then we have lectures coming up, such as first aid for dogs, where people can learn about what the Red Paw Project is, which is a very important dog blood donation project, because it saves lives. It is really.
The program also included stalls with pet supplies, shelter presentations, and veterinary advice. Visitors were also able to try out various activities together with their dogs.
Almost everything here. We have dog supplies here, whether it is collars or leashes, but we also have safety travel crates for cars, which I consider essential. We have dog tags here, and we have 10 shelters and organizations that are helping dogs. But we have Lab Vet here, which is a laboratory that will perform a stool analysis for dogs to see if they need deworming or not.
We have prepared a whole range of competitions for dog owners and dogs, like slalom and long jump. We will try to break the Czech record in the high jump, but at the same time, dog shelters are presented here where people who come here can perhaps choose a dog that they will take from a shelter, or they can contribute to the shelters. They will learn a whole range of news or things from veterinarians that they are interested in regarding their dogs. It is a fun day for dog owners, and at the same time, it is the 10th anniversary of Dog Day in Prague 13, so it is a jubilee. I believe every dog owner or animal lover will find something here.
Dog Day in Prague 13 annually combines fun, education, and support for shelters. And according to the organizers, public interest in the event continues to grow.
That's all for this edition of Praha TV Weekly News. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time with more updates. Have a great week ahead.